KVC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post a quick video here. It's just time for a recent finds video. Just stuff that's come in since the last recent finds video, which I think has been a little while. As I mentioned in the previous videos, I was out of town for about a week or so. Did a little bit of digging when I was out, nothing crazy. I didn't get a ton of stuff or anything like that, but had a chance to dig with Aaron Mutha-Alamere out in Idaho, and also had a chance to do a little bit of digging in Salt Lake City. And then, stuff that came in before I left, and a couple of things that came in through the mail, and working at the shop, and, just all that stuff. So when I put it all together, there is quite a bit of stuff. So I decided I'm going to break this into 3 different videos. I'll kind of share rock, pop, maybe one or two jazz pieces here today. My next video, I separated the rest of the stuff out into R&B and hip hop. So I'll do a recent finds video on that. And then also a recent finds video on CDs. I've started to really kind of get back into CDs. Well, I shouldn't say back into, because I never left CDs, but I wasn't actively looking for CDs. It was more so when I'm just in music stores, at shows or whatever. If I see some CDs and they're at great prices and they're albums I want, I grab them. But I've actually kind of gotten to the point now to where I've been more actively looking at and scrolling for stuff on Discogs or eBay or whatever, and just really kind of actively looking for CDs, which is something I haven't done in quite some time. I was just really opportunistic with them. Just kind of with, where vinyl is going, prices jumping and skyrocketing and all of that, and also kind of getting into CDs as a way of maybe kind of controlling the growth of my collection and things of that nature. It's just kind of a fun focus, and I'm adding back into my music world. So now I'm not like, bailing on vinyl or anything like that. It's just I'm actively bringing, looking into CDs as well now. So I'll do a video on kind of recent CDs I've picked up and that type of thing too. But yeah, let's just kind of jump right into this. So kind of the rock, pop, like I said, maybe 1 or 2 jazz pieces. The first 2 I'm going to show here are 2 pieces that I believe I showed on my Instagram page, but I haven't done a video here yet. But the first one here is just a fantastic one. Melissa Etheridge, Yes I Am. This is one that I got to cross off my Grail list. I've wanted one of these for the longest time. And it's not like a crazy expensive record or anything like that. It's just I wasn't really willing to pay, maybe the $200 that they kind of tend to go for. But I found an absolute just amazing deal on this, and I had sold some stuff that I had some money in my PayPal, so didn't have to spend like any money to get it, and it just ended up being a perfect fit and perfect timing. So glad to finally cross that one off the list, because it's been on my Grail list for years. This is her 1993 release. It's stuff like I'm the Only One, If I Only Wanted To, Come to My Window. I mean, I love Melissa. I can't believe it's like we can't get around to reissuing her golden years. But I've been able to get a couple of her albums that I really wanted, and yeah, this was at the top of the list. So happy to finally pick that up. Great piece. Another one which I think I showed on Instagram as a find of the week is Doors, self-titled. As you can see, it's a MoFi pressing. Beautiful piece from 1981. A near mint vinyl, excellent cover. I mean, just in absolute fantastic shape. I wasn't even looking for this today. I stumbled across it, but just could not resist. But luckily I had some stuff with me, so I was able to kind of, do some trade and snag that. Next here, another band that I'm kind of just getting into now, maybe over the last 6 months or so, Volbeat. I'd seen them in concert a couple of times. I think they opened once for Godsmack, and they opened once for Metallica. And I wasn't exactly blown away by their music, but what's his name? The vocalist, that dude has got some pipes. It's like, oh, he almost sounds better live than he does on his studio albums. Like, his voice is just fantastic. And so that's kind of been churning me into diving into some more Volbeat stuff, and I've been finding some things that I've really been digging. So Rock the Rebel, Metal the Devil. This is from 2007, so that was really cool, kind of stumbling across that. It's definitely one of their albums that I wanted to pick up. Next here, we got The Wedding Singer, Volume 2. just a continuation of the Volume 1 that they just reissued not too long ago. I believe what they did between the Volume 1 and 2 is they took all the songs in the movie and they put them on the albums, I think in the same order they appeared in the movie. So like the first half of the movie and the songs are in Volume 1 and the second half are all in Volume 2. And just all of, you know, the great 80s stuff that you remember from Wedding Singer and all the funny stuff that Adam Sandler did in it. It's all on there. So the Volume 1, Volume 2 is a great 1-2 punch on that. And this is one that I did pick up when Aaron and I were out digging. This is Nico On The Faction. This is from that 2017, I believe, Record Store Day release. You know, I love Nico. I love her stuff with the Velvet Underground and her solo stuff and all of that. I never actually heard this particular album, so I kind of just did a blind buy, and I haven't spun it yet, but I'm assuming, just like all her other stuff, I'm going to end up liking it. So that's kind of a new discovery for me. And then here you have the 1973 pressing of the Duby Brothers, The Captain and Me. Just a, you know, a beautiful, beautiful near mint pressing of that, still in shrink. So just one of their classic albums. And when I found it in that condition, you know, excellent plus, I was like, I have to grab that. So nice addition to the Duby Brothers collection there. Same thing with the Rolling Stones, Made in the Shade. You know, just kind of the best of the Stones. Again, just found a very beautiful piece in shrink, fantastic condition. You know, and here you have stuff like Brown Sugar, Wild Horses, Angie, you know, so just some of their classic tracks. So went ahead and grabbed that one. And my boy Gary here, Physical Format Rock and Roll, he'll definitely appreciate this because he recently showed a pretty cool piece in a live stream we were doing of Olivia Newton-John's greatest hits. And this is Olivia's Greatest Hits Volume 2. You know, yeah, Olivia Newton-John and, you know, 80s and obviously connected to Grease and, you know, supposed to be cheesy and blah, blah, blah. I love her, and I've always loved her. So, you know, finding this and finally getting this back in my collection, you know, I found this like $3 at a half price books, which was awesome. You know, and stuff like Heart Attack, Magic, Physical, Xanadu. Hey, I spun this about a week and a half ago or something like that, and I mean, I enjoyed every minute of it. So fantastic album, fantastic. And much like in Mr. Hall of Fame fashion, we'll go from Olivia Newton-John to King Diamond, Fatal Portrait. You know, whatever rings good in the ear, that's what I'm going to bring in. Could care less about the cool or non-cool factor in anything. And yeah, fantastic piece here. I didn't put the sticker on there yet, actually, but yeah, this is an OG pressing, again in fantastic condition. So one of the last two King Diamond albums that I kind of needed for my collection. So awesome pickup there. And this is one that I picked up in Salt Lake City, I believe. Striper, Even the Devil Believes. Almost forgot the title of it. Very great pickup. This is their 2020 release. I remember I picked up this was like a year ago, actually almost a year ago to the day, because it was over my birthday weekend. I picked up a copy of their 2017 or 2018 release, somewhere in there, whatever that one was. And I was just really kind of surprised. You know, it was just kind of like really just kind of harder and more punchy than I expected the Striper album to be. So when I saw this one, which is their 2020 release, I just kind of thought, heck, I'm willing to take a chance on it because they rocked the last one, and I don't think they really disappointed much on this one either. Now, granted, I've only listened to side one. I haven't checked out side two yet. But what I've heard so far, it's like, man, Striper is killing it on their new stuff, which is really awesome. So great addition there. Love seeing the old bands that are still putting out really great stuff and love supporting them. So, you know, always going to pick up like their stuff no matter what. Another great one here is the Mighty Lemon Drops, Out of Hand, kind of going back to some of the, you know, the awesome mid to late 80s pop, new wave, all that good stuff. And this is a beautiful gold stamp promo, original 87 US pressing there. So it's just kind of another really fantastic album. Good stuff. And Another album that in all the years I've been digging, I don't think I've ever stumbled across this album. And it's not because it's, it's a $10 record, like it's nothing crazy or anything like that. It's just for whatever reason, this is just one album that I have never come across in the 15, 20 years that I have been digging all over the freaking country. But it's the Vapors, Nuclear Days. Nuclear Days, get it? So yeah, I was actually kind of pumped when I saw it. And I was like, wait a minute, that's the Vapors. Like, what album is that? And looked at the tracks on it, and it actually is the one that has Turning Japanese on it, which I've been wanting for quite some time. But yeah, so really cool, great 80s new wave stuff to add to the collection. And it's nice sometimes when you find those cheap grails that you've kind of wanted for years and years and years and can pay $8 or $9 to get. But yeah, this is one of those albums just kind of reminds me of all the things that were so great about the 80s. I mean, Turning Japanese, number one, was already kind of a hilarious, funny, song and all of that. And back when you were a kid, you didn't know that Turning Japanese, or even stuff like She Bop by Cyndi Lauper and all that, like, we didn't know that was about masturbation, right? And I think it's one of the things that really makes the 80s one of the last great decades for me, is it was one of the last decades that was really centered in pop culture around just being colorful and fun. And it wasn't as dangerous, if you will, of having like kids dwell in it a lot, because even a lot of the filth was kind of hidden. It's kind of like those Pixar movies where the joke takes place and the adults know exactly what you're talking about, but the kids have no idea, or something like that. And so, Turning Japanese is another one of those great examples of that. And then the 90s rolled around and everything was, FUB and I'll shoot you and, rape me, and, was from the hip hop to the grunge side and everything else. Things just got like really openly dark really fast. So that brings back some of my heydays of the 80s. So great stuff there. Another one here, which actually I don't think I've ever heard this album, Underneath the Colors by NXS. This is kind of some of their early stuff from 1981. And I saw this and was just like, I don't know. I can't recall ever hearing that album or even knowing what's on it. So I'm automatically going to grab it. So I actually still haven't spun it yet. So kind of looking forward to discovering this album. This from 1981. So kind of a number of years before Kick and all that stuff really kind of propelled them into the stratosphere. So looking forward to kind of discovering some of their earlier stuff with that one. And then next, my man Eddie Money, Nothing to Lose. This is from 1988. This is the one that had his big hit Walk on Water off of it. And yeah, Eddie is just my man, just one of the baddest rockers to me. And anytime I find any of his studio albums that I do not have on vinyl that are in excellent to near mint condition, it is an automatic grab, because Eddie is just he's the man. That's all I can say. So great addition to the collection there. And then the last three that I have here. Bill Evans Trio, Sunday at the Village Vanguard. I'm not very, very familiar with Bill Evans, period, but of the stuff that I do know by him and I have listened to, this is one of the albums that I just had kind of consistently skipped over. So especially when this got reissued for that record store day and people were kind of losing their mind trying to find it, it just kind of made me think, okay, I need to just freaking go check out that album, because I just don't know it. And sure enough, I mean, it's just a fantastic jazz album. I honestly think like the cover does it a bit of an injustice, and maybe that's why I haven't gravitated towards it in the years prior. But yeah, fantastic album. Glad I finally discovered it and got that in the collection. And then you have The Who, My Generation. This is the Abbey Road Studio, half-speed mastering. So, had to pick that up, even though I have, the Who box set, if I can get my hand in the right place, right over there, so have this in there and everything. But I just absolutely love these Abbey Road half-speed remasters. I've never been disappointed with a single one, from the Blind Faith to all the Bob Marley ones and the Police and all of that. So really at this point in time, anytime I see these, especially when they come into the shop, it's just, I always want to pick them up. So it's really kind of more on the collector side of me that's really grabbing these things. Again, even though they are fantastic sounding pressings, I find myself buying a number of duplicates of things I already have in some way, shape, or form on these Abbey Road studio pressings, but they are awesome. Like that Abbey Road's Bob Marley, the Babylon Bus, is like one of the greatest pressings I've ever heard on vinyl, like ever. And that was kind of really the first one that drew me into paying attention to them. So awesome stuff there. And last but not least, another one that had kind of been on the list of just keeping an eye out, which is Lowell George. Thanks, I'll eat it here. This came into the shop one time, and Billy Hurst over at Riverbend Records, he played it, and I really kind of dug it, and I just put it on my list that day to think, okay, if I ever stumble across a copy, I'm going to grab one. And sure enough, I was lucky to do that. He was part of Little Feat, and I guess if I remember correctly, it was something like, this was in 1979, and he wasn't completely happy with the direction that Little Feat was going, and was kind of doing a side project, an individual thing that was kind of more so what he liked with the earlier stuff of Little Feat. And I think this is the only album that he digs. I think he passed away shortly after this or something like that. But strange little cover, but great freaking music on this bad boy. So that was a great pickup as well. All right, so there you go, kind of on the rock pop side of things. And like I said, I'll come back pretty soon, maybe tomorrow morning, or maybe even later tonight, and kind of show you recent pickups of some of the R&B and hip hop stuff that I've grabbed. So as always, VC, let me know what you think, and we will talk to you soon. All right, take care, guys.